Even folks, welcome back to the match review. Looking back at Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds United a little bit later this week, but we thought we'd give it some time, let it, percolate a little bit and see what Leeds do in the transfer market and try and double up on the two. And we've got a bit of news. So we've had two signings in the door since we last sat down to have a conversation, one fresh in today, and a very good performance from Leeds United against Sheffield Wednesday to get stuck into. Delighted to be, as always, joined by Gerry, McNamee, and by Ben Locke Leeds. So we'll check in with the lads in 2 seconds. Just a real quick PSA announcements on the bottom of the screen. We are going to talk about Maynard Solomon. There's been a couple of people that have had reactions to this during the week in the chat. This is a PG channel. There's children that watch this. So I'm asking everyone to keep the chat clean, if you will. As I said in the community tab post that I put up, any politically motivated stances or points on any side of the fence will be removed immediately. If it's persisted by certain individuals, they'll be removed from the channel as well. This is a football space, and I want to keep it a clean, safe football space for people to just talk about football things. So that's that out of the way. We're going to get into it now. So, Gerry, how have you been? How's your week? How's the big move?
Oh, my big move. Oh, my God. It's tense. The date's changed 16 times today, and I've been chatting at everybody, but I've sorted Sky and I've sorted the internet, so everything else can be sorted. So yeah, all the important stuff. But that's been a great week. Friday night was worried going into it, and coming out of it was bouncing. Have to say, Hillsborough is a disgrace of a stadium. It really is, considering what's gone on there and the history of that. I was shocked, and somebody needs to have a serious look at the safety element of that. With Leeds fans were the two entrances and one exit opened up. When you're standing there and realise your blood runs cold a bit when you realise you're standing where that tragedy happened. But that was the downside. But the game itself, absolutely brilliant Leeds. This was the Leeds that we've been waiting for. Sheffield Wednesday, yeah, people say they're not a great team, and they're not, but there's a lot of teams like this, and there's a lot of teams like that did us last year, especially in the last quarter of the season. And we took him apart. Willie Nonto was excellent. Matteo Joseph was man of the match. Dan James motored, right through the team. Rodon, Strike, back to normal. Even Bogle had a good game, and Fairpool was good. Fairpool was Fairpool, and
Steady Eddie all of a sudden, right?
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
Ampadu conducted it. The whole team, I thought Gruev was good. The subs weren't really needed when they come on, and we could have got more, but it was really pleasing just to see that we were that good. We have to hang on to Nonto. He conducted it. He played number 10, and of course Brendan, he scored 2 goals. You got to give it to the guy. He's come back with pelters, probably deserved. I did say I was standing there with my arms folded, disappointed. I'm going, well done, Brendan. You're back in the fold, and you're working your socks off. So good night all around. And we got players coming in from everywhere. They're talking about 20, 25. I don't know. If every link that I've seen the last few days, we're going to be like Chelsea. But it'll filter out. But I take everything back I said about the 49ers. Got to be humble. I've got to be humble and eat words. Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of that, Gerry. There's going to be a lot of people in the queue to go.
Manager. He's the best.
My bad. Sorry, lads.
We're a neurotic bunch, and we're entitled to be concerned. I think it was. So
listen, we've had so much bad ownership over the years. We are programmed. When you go 6 weeks without a signing, the inner Leeds voice in your head goes, panic now.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're doing okay. It looks like we're all doing okay so far. We do have a new member on the channel as well. Just a big shout out to Leon Kirk for becoming a new member of the channel. Welcome on board. There will be some member stuff coming. I keep saying I'll do some member stuff, but I will do some member stuff. I'm trying to get a website launched as well, and then it's easier. So more stuff coming. But let's check in with Lockie, who's well and truly over his move. And positive weekend, Lockie?
Yeah, much better, Joe. Yeah, settled in, getting to know the area, all that stuff. It's been a good week, hasn't it, to be fair? Leeds winning, good transfer business, Oasis, until you find out the apparent leaked prices. Won't be going there. It's been
Thanks, Richard.
It is good when you win. It just feel better, don't you? When Leeds United are doing well, there's no better feeling, really, is there, to be fair? I'm trying to think of something. There just isn't. When Leeds United win and then you get a few good players in, a few exciting new toys, it's a great time, and I'm still feeding off it. Going into Friday, I'm excited. Might see Ramazani play. That'd be good. That'd be
Yeah.
exciting. Back at Ellen Road as well. Good times, Jer. But look, there's still time left, and players could go.
They could. I mean, the two obvious ones. Well, they're now becoming more obvious. One wasn't so obvious, but Max Ferber, there's still a lot of him and Han around what's going to go on there, and I think that'll go right down till the end of the window. Gladbach apparently have sold a player for close to 17 million, and that money could be reinvested then into a permanent signing for Voberg. No issues. Take him. Off you go. And during the week, it was looking like a loan, and the loan to me didn't make any sense except for just taking a player who's a distraction and getting him out of the way. But it looks like Leeds might be just holding on for a permanent move for him as well, which fine, no problems with that at all. And then the other one, if Leeds, as Gerry, you've said it already, if Leeds bring in all these players that were being linked with, Joe Gelhardt is looking like a question mark over what happens with Joffrey. Where does he go? And it might be a blessing in disguise for Joffrey. It might not be Leeds, but it might be a chance to kickstart his career somewhere else and do what we think he can do and go and prove himself at that level. So we want these kids playing football. So it'd be great to see that as well. Big shout out to the US contingents. We've got some people from Nashville. There was somebody else from somewhere else ready to go. Kentucky a few minutes ago. So big shout out to everyone watching in the States. And John, you're not that late. We've only just started, mate. You're okay. We haven't even got into the game stuff yet. So plenty of time. But let's go through the signings that have come in the door. Since we last spoke, Largi Ramzani has signed for Leeds United. Can play on the left, can play on the right. Can play in the 10, has done a bit of ball, but decent player. Like you've looked a little bit at Ramzani. What are your thoughts on him coming in? And good signing for Leeds?
Yeah, just not loads, to be fair. Maybe I've watched about 2 games most, not no more than that, maybe 1.5, because he didn't play the full 90 for both of them. So he does that. He puts everything in it for 60 minutes, and then he's done after that. So that's a bit of he's an exciting little player, really is. Can also play up front as well, which is something that we might visit. But he is predominantly a winger, obviously. I likened him, I think a great profile to other guys have likened him to as well. It is that Mane profile, that real quick, aggressive winger that drives at people. He gets a lot of cards as well, which is fine, isn't it? But
we like that.
It is. Yeah, we love that, don't we? But he did really well last season in the struggling side that finished very bad and got relegated. And his numbers were all right. So he's definitely one that, I don't know loads about him personally, but from what I've seen and what I've been told, I like the look of him. I think in a side with quality around him, he'll get chances, he'll create chances, and he'll be an absolute menace to any championship defender, because whatever we don't know about him, what we do know is, well, what I've seen is he's very, very quick and a very good dribbler. So yeah, he's going to scare a lot of defenders. I'm genuinely intrigued about him because I don't know loads. I'm really excited to see how he plays in this system. I think he could be one of them. Maybe he'll take a little bit to get into it. Maybe not. We don't know. But it's an exciting one, Joe, for sure. I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, he has excitement written all over him. I've watched a couple of the goals that he scored, the clips and bits and pieces. He definitely has the kind of player that will get you off your backside, and he's very similar in some moves, Gerry. He looks very similar to Chris Somerville, which would be a welcome sight to see somebody coming in off the left wing again and bending one in the far corner.
Yeah, I definitely need a replacement and somebody exciting. I think the only clip I seen, he scored I think in the first minute or second minute, was it at Madrid or was it Barcelona? I can't remember. It was either one, and he scored early. Must admit, I'd never heard of him. As I said, I've been following him for 10 hours now, and I think he's the best player ever. But never heard of Rafinha before. Never heard of Click. Never heard of any of these guys before. So it's exciting to see what he can do. But as Locke says, the stats I've seen, he seems to have played well in a team that went down. So looking forward to seeing him. I almost forgot about him now. It's moved on to Solomon. That dragged out. My God, how long is it alone? I've been refreshing my phone all day. I've not done nothing, and just anybody else. And I've been getting all I've gotten is Oasis. And so it's So it was a good signing, and it seems to be we're in for an exciting few days. I think that's 2 in now, and all the players were linked to, who have we got? It's the guy from Hungary. It's the Japanese.
Roland Salai, Ao Tanaka, Max Aarons, and there's one other one in there. There's a guy by the name of a strange one, Mohamed El Bashir Baloumi from Algerian winger who plays for Forense in the Portuguese league, has been linked as well.
And Danny Ings, because I can pronounce Danny Ings, that's easy. And
I don't think that was happening, though. I think that was more of a
no,
rumor
isn't
that was
it?
made up
And
by somebody we might know.
everybody, yeah. What's going? It's in the know. My mate mentioned it the other day, and I think it's probably the rumors coming from there. But it's Hamer is the one, or Hammer. Yeah, that would be exciting. But it's Hammer is Hamer, whatever. Gus, call him Gus.
Gus.
That would be such a coup to get from Sheffield United if it was. But from what Adam Pope was saying last time, you reporting, Gerry, that was 13 million. And no other offers. You're thinking, is it just going to be one of these where the owners say, well, we tried, you've got to try harder. And there's some outlets reporting, some, I think was it Austrian or Dutch, were saying that there is a deal to be done here. So watch this space, because he's an exciting player. It'd be excellent to get someone like that in. And I suppose we've got the money. And what we're seeing as well is Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton, these teams are losing. Jadosi's gone. Ipswich are recreating the Irish Republic of Ireland team at the moment. They seem to. I think we're sort of saying, right, we'll go for Jack Clark and Ipswich. No, we're having them. We go, oh, well, at least we're weakening another team if we're not getting the player. So
yeah,
a lot's going to happen, and it's evening itself out. And maybe we've done our business, players out, hopefully, and other teams are starting to suffer. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. I'll be on my phone.
Yeah, you better look for your shirt there as well, Gerry, in the chat from Darren.
That's 1982. The first game I ever went to Elland Road was in Brighton when we got relegated, and yeah,
it's been nothing but highs ever since then, Gerry.
Oh, 82, that was the high.
Wins all the way.
This is a retro because the real one wouldn't fit me now. It's too big. Yeah.
Yeah, all the new shorts are much smaller. Yeah, you did right. Danny Ings, by the way, just to clarify this, there may have been a bit of mischief that kicked off with the Danny Ings thing. Somebody mentioned that on Twitter, but Joe Wayman did pick it up on the Just Joe show, and then JT on JT Live had a bit of fun with him on social media with it as well. So there's nothing in it. There's nothing in Danny Ings going to Leeds United, so you can all rest easily. As Joe put it earlier on today, Pat Bamford is always broke, and Danny Ings is always broke. Why would we replace Pat Bamford with a broken player who's essentially the same? So don't worry about that. That one's not happening. But I wouldn't say no to a sneaky number 9 coming in the door before the end of the window, just to cover with Pat being injured against Sheffield Wednesday. And we should probably talk about that again in a sec. But we'll come back to Pat and that. On this Solomon transfer, Gerry, good deal. Champions League experience, Europa League experience, Premier League experience. That's a big signing for a championship club, isn't it? Assuming he stays fit.
He is. Well, his fitness was a thing, and I don't know whether that was part of the delay or whether it was financial. But he's had a lot of injuries. It seems we haven't got to buy. There's no clause in there. So I suppose if he's injured, it's a no-brainer for us. He scored a cracking goal against us in the cup or for Fulham a couple of years ago, and he that night I didn't recognize him straight away, but when somebody pointed that out, I thought, yeah, I remember him now. And he was brilliant that night. So someone coming in of that caliber, and I know the Ajax were in the frame as well. And trying
Ajax came in over the weekend trying to put it off, but they didn't get it done.
If he's looking at Leeds and the caliber, and there seems to be a bit of a flow between Leeds and Spurs as well. So he's, I think, certainly a great addition. And even if he's not fully fit for the first 2 weeks, definitely an impact player, and probably even more. So a bit of an embarrassment of riches, which we're okay, because I looked at that squad the other night. 19, a squad of 19, 2 goalkeepers on the bench. You probably could have stuck Alex Cairns up front. He would have got to go. But it's not good look for us, and going through the season we can't afford any injuries. So if we've got 3 or 4 in before the end of the week, that'll be great. But yeah, certainly a good sign in Solomon, definitely.
Yeah, people ask about Ramazani on one wing, and then Solomon also plays left wing. From what I've read from Graham Smith's piece yesterday or over the weekend, Leeds are possibly looking at Solomon as a 10, but he can also play on the right, as can Ramazani, and Ramazani has played a lot on the right as well. So there's balance there. It might look one-sided, but I think they can all interchange, and you're not always looking for a winger to go down the outside and whip a ball in. You're looking for him to come inside sometimes. You've got options there to change it around. You've got Dan James as well, Aronson there, Nanto there. There's plenty of options, which is great to have. But what are your thoughts on the Solomon transfer, Lockie?
I think it's brilliant, Joe, to be honest. The biggest caveat to everything is his fitness. That's it. For me, he's not in this league because of ability, not even close. I think he's purely in this league because it's a good league to really test your body, right? You're playing 46 games, maybe more with cups. and he'll do his confidence well, because if he's playing in this league and he's fit, for me anyway, when he's fit and he's sharp, he's probably the best winger in the league, to be honest. That might sound bullish, but I genuinely believe that. I think this guy was playing Champions League before he went to Fulham. When he was fit for Fulham, I thought he was really good. Again, was never really that fit for Spurs. That was his issue for me. You take that away from it and look at the time he was at Shakhtar. He was ridiculous. Great player. Scored loads of goals. I think he's got 6-7 goals in the Champions League as well. This type of signing is a bit of a statement, especially for a loan. This reeks of, I think, higher actually. But, you know, like when Carvalho went to Hull, it was at RB Leipzig before. Couldn't get a game there. Came to the Championship to get minutes. This is like that. It's that caliber of player for me. And like you said, he can play either side. I think all of them can, like you said, and that's what's good. We have that fluidity. I think if one thing we lacked last season, when Nonto's on that right, you know, is a little isolated. Some of it became isolated in the second half of the season when teams start to, you know, figure it out. And some of it isn't a central player. He's a winger, and that's what he's really good at. But with these three now, with Nonto on the left or in the 10, Solomon either side in the 10, Ramazani either side, even in the 10 or up top. You know, Dan James, who's a different profile, who's predominantly a right-sided player. But with them profiles, you have so much fluid movement up there that firepower is an absolute joke. One thing I like as well with Solomon, even if there's games where he's not fit, for me, when he is fully fit and sharp, he starts 100%. But when he's not, you still have an absolute joke of wingers around him. So it's not like you're over-reliant on him, if that makes sense, which is a good deal for me. But yeah, mate, I really like the signing. I think if we keep him fit, the numbers he can get in this league are a joke. I really believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the volume of experience that he has and where he's played his football. I mean, the only reason he ended up with Fulham in the first place is because of what's going on in Ukraine right now. And basically, because the league was suspended, he was allowed to move to another club outside of a window, and he joined Fulham. And then when that season finished, they had a good look at him, obviously, and decided that option was still available to move away from the Ukrainian league. And he took it and went to Tottenham. So he's kind of ended up here just as out of circumstances, nearly more than anything else. But what a hell of a coup for Leeds to get as an attacking player. His interview came across very well. He's very keen to get stuck in. Big admirer of the fans. So it does look on paper like it's a really solid signing, but the caveat of can he stay fit will be there after missing most of last year with a meniscus and MCL injury. So fingers crossed, the injuries are behind them. Players get injured. They do get injured. So let's hope that that's behind them. The other one that's been linked today, and there's a couple of people asking about it, and I will cover as much as before we get to the game as possible. Max Aarons has been mentioned, and Carlos Fish is saying, Dundee Allen Road Tour today, plenty of talk about Max Aarons going around employees. Graham Smith said he's a player Leeds like. He's been talked about. He's a right back. We've got two right backs. I don't know where that fits. Sam Byron maybe goes as your left cover, but then there's Max Aarons, who's sitting on the bench for a Premier League side, come and sit on the bench for a Championship side. There's some, I don't know. I'm sure they know what they're doing, but at the moment he is being strongly linked with Leeds, so there's a possibility there. The Hamer as a number 8, I don't think that's gonna happen. I could be wrong. It could still happen. He would be very good. I would see Hamer as more of a 10 personally than an 8 if you got that kind of player in, and if you got in the player people are asking about as well, and that is Ao Tanaka, who, Locke, you have done a fantastic video which I've shared around today as well. I'll link at the end of this for anyone who's watching on demand. It's a really, really good video. Tanaka linked with Leeds last year. What's interesting about this link, and the reason we're covering it, is the Daily Mail have come out with this as an exclusive. The Daily Mail were the only newspaper to get the 49ers buying Leeds outright first. They were also the only newspaper that called Daniel Farke's appointment when Team Talk were telling everyone it was Patrick Vieira tomorrow morning, and it ended up being Daniel Farke. They got the first exclusive inside Ellen Road under the 49ers during a staff meeting. They were invited to that and a Q&A with Bragg. They also got invited to the Levi Stadium in San Francisco to view the stadium and what the 49ers have done with stadiums there, to give them an insight of what Ellen Road could look like in a couple of years' time. So they're very much in with the 49ers. When they say things, they tend to be right. So Tanaka being linked again, a second year in a row, potential 2.6 million release clause, a very good number 8, Lockie. I know what you think about this guy, so you're pretty excited about this. Yeah, honestly, Jay, it's one player I've watched in the last 2 years. It's him. I did a bit of work with someone's son, some analysis, some 1v1 analysis, and he was a centre midfielder, and the guy I used to show him the clips from was Ao Tanaka. So yeah, his game inside out. Yeah, I've got like videos I can just think of him.
I'm glad it's him, but he is a top player for me. I'm seeing people say, look, he's in the Bundesliga too. Trust me, that doesn't matter. He should not have been in there at the start of last year. He should not have been in there this year. This year before that, he was really good as well. For whatever reason, he stayed there. He's not now. We need to get him. He is the profile of player we need. He is the profile we should get. For 2.5 million, you're not going to get a better number 8. I think it's a joke, that price. And he is exactly the type of profile we're missing, mate. He's a pure box-to-box. The best thing about Tanaka is he plays with his brain. It's all about his brain. He's such a smart player. He can see moves coming from anywhere. He knows exactly where the players around him. He scans like, I know you like this, Gerry, he scans like crazy. He loves scanning. That's all he does. Honestly, just watch him. All he's doing, he's always checking. He's such a smart player and so aware of his surroundings. He can play attacking 8, box-to-box 8, deep 8, either. I think it'd be an excellent signing. People are actually asking me on Twitter about him or Hamer. I think the thing with them two is Hamer obviously is the glamour name. There's no risk in Hamer. You know he can do it at this level. He's done it at this level. I think Hamer's got the better moments in him, them standout moments. But if I'm looking at pure profile and price, I think Tanaka you cannot turn down for me. And he's very consistent as well. So both good players, but for 15 million less, absolute no-brainer for me, mate. Yeah, I'd love him. You'd never see someone so excited if we signed him, honestly.
Well, I've seen your video on him, so I know how excited you can get about this player. You talked an awful lot in detail, and again, I'll link it later on, but you can check out my Twitter. If you're on Twitter X, you can go and check it out on mine. It's there as well, and we'll highly recommend it. Gerry, another central midfielder, an 8, an active 8 who can score goals, who can arrive late in the box, gives Leeds a little bit of something different than they've currently got. Might mean the end of the Lubatic rumours, possibly. But a very good player, and at least gives Leeds a different type of dynamic player in there they don't have right now.
Oh, Locke, you're making me emotional talking about it. This could be a great player. Wow. I know absolutely nothing about this guy. I must admit, I'm one of these fans who picks up. So that insight is absolutely brilliant. And let's hope we do land him. And as you say, to spend 2.5 million as opposed to 20 million, it's a no-brainer, really. So let's see how that pans. I'm comfortable having to like the Daily Mail for stuff, but if they're good on sport, we'll stick with them for that. I think we need players in, and to have a player like that in the centre, as you say, someone who can see the pass and everything else. I know Nanto was playing; he was very much tucked in on Friday night. So whether there's a role in there for him or whether he's going, because I've not seen. I know there's a lot of talk of him going, but I've not seen any links. And does he want to go to a madhouse like Everton at the moment? I don't know, but if he does go, it'd be interesting to see. But I've not seen him linked with anybody yet. But let's hope we hang on to him. But exciting signings, and these are quality players. And we're players who are above the championship, if you like, so that they can make a real difference to us. And let's hope we're going to have such a strong bench as well. And one of the things we want to see is not bring on a load of players when we're struggling. Use the bench properly. You know, in the rugby term, they call them finishers. Let's when the team's watching Dan James and really Nanto running them down, and then he sees Solomon and the other guy warming up, you think this is what we gotta just bulldoze them, and we can land a couple of these. If Max Aarons comes for a medical, just one tip: lock the door this time so we can't get out. And that'd be an interesting one. I mean, if I forgive him. Last year, I despised him for doing that. But he comes and he wins. And if he's a right back, yes, it's cover. But as you say, you don't want him sitting on the bench. I'm not sure whether he can play on the left. If not, but it gives us options. We need cover there, because if either Bogle or Ferper are injured, we've Sam Byron, and Sam can play a lot of games all the time. So we need a strong squad, and as the season goes, these players will work their way in. So I'm so excited, and I'll be devastated if we don't get any of them Friday. But don't go to bed and we said Willie. But never mind. I'm genuinely excited by this. The 49ers. It's the strategy they said. I think they basically said we're waiting until the quality. Don't do it to us. Just buy these players first time. Don't do it to us. It's not fair. I can't be going through this. I just want players in, and I want lots of them. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're nearly there, and the 49ers are on the verge of delivering their promise. Farke is on the verge of getting exactly what he asked for in terms of volume of players. We'll see if it turns into quality. But the players that have been linked, and Gerry, as you said at the start, we're seeing the competitors with Leeds drop away in terms of they're losing players. And other teams that are expected to be in around Leeds are signing what you would classify as standard championship-y kind of players.
Yeah.
And Leeds are buying a different profile of player, which you hope will be enough to get Leeds back up into the Premier Division if they all tick. And the beauty of this, I suppose, is we'll have a 2-week break from internationals, of where most of them will be on international duty anyway. So we'll see how they blend when they come back in. But we're going to move on to, because it's been 25 minutes so far, we'll move on to the Sheffield Wednesday game. But just before that, 2 quick super chats to talk about Conor Kavanagh. Thanks, Gerry. Still hoping for minimum two to come through the door. And progress being made on the Hamer one. I think Hamer will be too expensive, but I think they'll get the other two players for Hamer. For Hamer's price, and probably end up being better value. Colin Kerwin, Gurmile, Gerry. Some nice news this week. Oasis and lufc. Yeah, I can't wait, mate. Looking forward to a few new signings, despite them being in positions on the pitch that we are all right in ish. I think we're all right now ish. And then another one from Wigan Joker. Great show, much appreciated, guys. Thank you, and thanks for your meme today, by the way, because I enjoyed putting that in the news as well, about winding up Chris Wilder a little bit more. Let's just keep lowballing all their players, even when the window closes. Keep putting bids in. Just keep putting bids in.
20 million. Just 20 million.
I've never seen him get so wound in my life. Brilliant, great to see you. Gerry, let's talk about the match. We wanted a better performance. We wanted a better balance at the side, and we wanted a result. Performance and a result. Did we get both?
Yes, I mean, first 10 minutes were under pressure, local derby and everything, but after that, it was only one team in it. At the time, you're thinking if they got a goal back, and they had a couple of half chances, but when you look back in the game as a whole, we were totally in control. The 2 goals were excellent. The interplay before the goal. It looked like a penalty, I don't know, but great feat again by Aronson. He did in the first game against Portsmouth, and a great finish in a pressure situation. And the ball from Joseph for the second goal. I mean, Dan James, that's meat and drink. And the question was, did he scuff it or did he mean to do it? We're directly.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, we're directly in line with it, and it just looked like he knew. He gave him the eyes. He knew exactly what he was doing. I think he meant it, and the keeper was just sprawled over, and it was great finish. And we were left with the moment of the game. And forget about the goals. The man falling over, eating a pie as he falls. I mean, that was genius. I know, it was better. It was nearly as good as the guy at the cricket match catching the ball with one hand in the Test match. So that was brilliant, and just the pure joy and the good feeling of the game. It felt good leaving that ground the other night. It felt good leaving the ground because it's a dump, but it felt good. Just the feeling of you've seen a good performance. You've seen that, hadn't seen that Leeds team since pre-international break in March. And they were all on it, and we looked good, and I think we looked a step above a lot of the teams in this division. Yeah, there'll be ups and downs, but I think we're on it now. And what I asked for at the weekend was lots of draws, and we got lots of draws, and we're sixth, and we're up against Blackburn in the playoffs now as it stands. Hopefully that'll be and I saw that joke today about Rutter, and I thought very good. I like that. I really like that. That's one that I would tell. So overall, great performance. Can't really fault them. And Nonto was unplayable. I thought he was probably man of the match. But Amadio just needed that goal, and he hit it too hard and just over. That would have been a great finish for him to get a goal. But once he gets a goal, and what I like about him is because he's not scored in the first 3 games. It's been a bit hit and miss, poor games from the team. He never stops trying physically. He's just that old-fashioned centre forward who you want to. You just want to be up there, and he's fighting for the ball. He can block it. He can hold it up, and I think get first goal, and he'll get a few, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I think once he does, the little turn and the volley that went over the crossbar. If that had hit the net, Jesus would take the net off the goal. I mean, he hit that with conviction. Yeah, it was that. I've looked back a few times, and he's not far away. And great work by Jayden Bogle to get into that position and feed the ball into him as well. I thought Bogle had a really good game. Especially first 5 some minutes, he's still finding his feet. But I thought after that, he had a fantastic game. But like, let's talk about the build up to the first goal, because Brendan Aronson starts the move, finishes the move. But Dan James has a wonderful flick in the middle of that. Yeah. We talked about mobility in the number 10 position last week. You get Aronson getting as deep as Georgie would go, and then powering up the box to be there. People are saying the referee was going to give the penalty, but I think if you watch the replays of the referee, he does this, which suggests he got the ball, which he didn't. And then when the ball goes in the back of the net, the ref does this for advantage as the ball goes in. So I don't think we're getting the advantage.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that goal and the move. It's great to see Aronson scoring again. That's 2. He's starting to repay some of the trust is starting to come back with that. He's paying his dues, I suppose. But a really, really good finish in terms of being in the right position, being active, and not sitting back and waiting to see how the move progressed.
Yeah, it was a really nice finish, wasn't it? Calm, wait for the keeper to kind of make his move, then just slotted it next to him. Yeah, and that's it, Gerry. And this is kind of Daniel Farke football, to be honest, at its best. You can create moves that quickly. That's what, if you get all the movements right that the manager wants you to do, that's how easy it is to break a team down. Danny Rolo, everyone was talking before, he's this great tactical manager, and he is. I really rate Danny Rolo. But this is Daniel Farke telling everyone to chill out. I'm still here, I still know what I'm doing. And he got it spot on, did the manager. All the players played exactly what he wanted. The midfield were excellent. Like you said, Aronson in there made some mistakes. He was a little nervous at times that you could tell. He needs to channel his energy a little more as opposed to the first 30 minutes. He needs to just chill out a bit, but that'll come. He said in his interview after Aronson actually that he did feel nervous when he arrived, and it's still probably there a little bit. But once he's calm and once he was confident after that finish, he looked great. And there's more of that's coming. The fact that he might not even start and that's a bench option is absolutely insane to me. But yeah, Dan James' flick was beautiful, and another one there. Whether Dan James keeps his spot in the future or not, what an option. We've got a real good squad now, and every player did their job. The tempo was good. There's still improvements for me. There's still, in the final third, we were a little messy at times. I think a little rushed, but too much energy. But generally speaking, that is a job well done performance. The manager goes away happy. The team go away happy. On to the next one. So honestly, and I just want to mention Bogle real quick as well, because being a winger and a fullback, the fullback won that battle. The fullback won that battle. Yeah. Winger got the best at the start where he put him on his backside, and you won't let him forget that. And you can't, because you did put him on his backside. But after that, I don't think he bothered him. He went 1v1. He tried to get it in. He blocked the cross. There was one way he gave a foul away, but that was never a foul. He beat him. I don't understand that was a foul. So yeah, good from Bogle doing the thing, going forward well. We look great, mate. Still doesn't change the fact we needed more signings and we need to get the right profiles in. But that is what you need from this Leeds United. And if every player is listening to Farke and they're doing what they're meant to and they're being free in the final third and playing with freedom, that's the result. And we could do that 20 team in this league, I think, if we're on it. I really do think that.
Yeah, Gerry, a second gear win was what I kind of described it afterwards. I didn't feel that Leeds ever really needed to get out of second gear. When they needed to press a little bit, they pressed it a little bit, but when they didn't, they just kept the ball. Leeds had over 600 passes. They outpassed Sheffield Wednesday by nearly 400 passes, which is a significant amount. They also had 69% of the possession with an 88% pass and accuracy. So if you look at that as a stats straight up, it looks like Leeds have just passed them off the park for most of the game.
Yeah, I know the tempo was better compared to the game at West Brom, and they were just the movement of Ampadu was just conducting things. The only one moment of angst from the Leeds fans was that strange punch from Melia when the ball came across. It looked like he just punched at it. He died, and the crowd groaned a bit. But he it did the job, and he had a couple of awkward crosses to get to. But Barry Bannon, I think his hair got in his eyes or something. But Barry Bannon kept putting it deep. He's got that flick. He's got an island on the front. We can't touch it. But he was putting strange balls in. But Melia did all right. And I noticed you talk about Aronson, Locke there. I noticed at the end when the players were applauding the crowd, they shoved him into the front, to give the usual oomph. Okay. And he was a bit reticent to do. He looked a bit shy, but he was. And I think the players and the fans as well. I think he's certainly worked his way back. In we didn't leave him last year, but in fairness, he's come back and he's worked hard. Unlike his mate, who I'm happy to see the back of. Yeah, you can go. And Nonto doesn't really interact with the crowd. I know he didn't make eye contact with them beforehand, and I still think there's a bit a bit of angst there with him from last season. But if he plays like that, I'll forgive him. And he was in the middle of the crowd when Dan James scored. So every player's different. But no, if that's us in second gear, then that's good. But we were different class, and there was you look at Sheffield Wednesday, weird start, 4-0 win, then 4-0 defeat, and losing to us, and I think they will struggle. Danny Roll should have left when he at the end of the season when he had that great run. And he was on the TV and everything, and we thought he's a good manager, he's good. But I look at the. I see Michael Smith coming on. I may have mentioned this last time, and I've got him on Championship Manager, and I can't get rid of him. And he never does anything for me. He wants a big payout, and this is reality against Championship Manager. But every time I see him, he really annoys me. So
just because of that. Give him the money, Gerry. That's what the chat would say. Give them the money. Give him what he wants.
The rest of the Sheffield Wednesday just looked ordinary. Just Championship players. Didn't really recognise a whole lot of them, and then they flattered to deceive. And you're right to say lucky about Bogle. First couple of tackles, block tackles, and he thought, he's on it now because he had a shaky start, and but he looked solid, and he looked more confident. And that'll be good for him as well. So so let's keep it up at the weekend.
I just wanted to quickly mention. I was going to quickly really mention Strauch as well, Jay. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, outstanding game,
almost
I thought.
Every header, easy game, and but what he did when we won that header, we were on it for the second ball. We were there. We were always the first there.
So far.
That's it is from. As soon as a header was won, you could see him pointing, telling everyone, get out. Yeah. Get out. Like, there's no sitting back on the 18-yard line waiting on players to have shots. It was get out.
He's way too handsome, though, isn't he? He's way too handsome to be a half. He's such a man, isn't he?
Break his nose a little bit, go that way a bit, and miss a couple of teeth, and he look more like
in the same respect, Joe Rodon's back on it as well. He looks back to Joe Rodon. He's just a little blip. We'll forgive him that. It's all when you look back 2 games where we were annoyed, and maybe that's just that'll be forgotten. But it is already.
And we should put that into context, Gerry. It's a really, really good point. If you look at where we were this time last year, Leeds had 5 points at the end of August. So when we finished all our games before the international break, we're sitting on 5 points. We're sitting on that now. Yeah. Leeds before the international break had 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 draws. We've got 1 win and 2 draws so far. As long as we don't lose to Burnley, we're in a better position than we were this time last year. And already the team is looking far more exciting before we even add in the players that will be available for the weekend's game against Hull, because that'll be a much healthier looking bench again. We won't have 2 kids on the bench, two goalkeepers on the bench, and we'll actually have a bench we can use again. Depth is important. So somebody said it earlier on the chat. I know you have hinted at, I've touched on it as well, but the idea of being able to take off your front 4 and bring on an entirely new same level top front 4 for the last half an hour of a game is terrifying if you're anybody else, because just when you think you're going to get a break and a secondary player is going to come in, an American international is going to come in, a player that's played in the Champions League is going to come in, and the next Manchester United, Leeds United, and the Anderlecht player is going to walk on the pitch as well. And you're like, oh shit, now what happens? So, I really am excited about this, giving Daniel Farke the tools to do the job that he needs to do properly, and having that depth in that bench and giving them options. I'm all here for. I think it's been really good so far. Get a decent result against Hull. Gerry, what do you want to see against Hull?
Same again, yeah. I want a finishing is everything, because we do waste some chances. I think we did it against Portsmouth, but the same tempo, the same attacking intent, the same pass, and Matteo Joseph to get a goal. I think if we hit the same level and have the new players coming in, because players are looking over the shoulder now, there's a bit of competition. Yeah. It'd be great to go into the international break with a win against Hull. That'd be fantastic, and push on from there. We're favourites for a reason, and it's not us getting way ahead of ourselves, because we know what happens. We know that things work out for Leeds, but it's as exciting as it can be at the moment. And if business goes the way it's looking, various players the next few days, we'll have a strong squad, and let's just hope we don't revert back to that team that struggled in the last quarter or whatever. But, we need that. And we need goals coming from midfield. Arnson's got 2 already. Let's see more of that. The goals spread around, we'll look, and maybe the players we've sold, we'll have adequate replacements for this division and money in the bank and everything else. It's funny watching our ex-players playing elsewhere. I watched Georgie come on against. He did okay.
Okay, nice moments.
I don't begrudge Georgie really. He's just a young kid and he doesn't understand half the stuff, and he's having his best life. Archie coming on for Spurs. Jed Spence coming on for Spurs. That's a strange one.
Had a good pre-season.
And Somerville, I don't know if he came on this weekend, but last week he looked okay. So it's you could pick a team of ex-Leeds players out of the Premier League at the moment.
I advise you to not put him in your fantasy league team like I did with Somerville, because Somerville was an unused sub at the weekend. So he's only played 7 minutes of football so far, which is not an awful lot. And I lost my glasses over the course of the weekend, heading over to the UK for the wrestling and getting back. I managed to lose my glasses. My second pair of glasses I used in a week, so no glasses. So I was watching the Brighton game, but I was streaming it to the TV, and I couldn't really make out everything. And I swear to God, I was convinced that Georgie had scored, and I may have jumped off the sofa and went, "Georgie scored!" And then was like, "No, it wasn't. It was Pearl." So no, but I'm delighted. Georgie have no issue with going. I have no issue with Somerville either. They did the right way. They conducted themselves in the right manner. No issue. Looking forward to seeing them enjoying the Premier League and watching them in the Premier League. I think they'd be two great players. You never know what happens in the future. Locke, Hull City, what do you want to see, and where do you think this is going to go?
First of all, I want to see Mateo Joseph goal. That'd be really nice. He needs one. He needs his moment in front of the crowd, doesn't he? Going crazy. Mateo Joseph does. I need a Mateo Joseph goal. And just same, intensity, tempo, controlling the game. Like, when we had possession previously, it was on purpose. I thought against West Ham, against Sheffield Wednesday, we had the possession was with purpose. We were tiring them out. We were moving the ball quickly. You could tell they hated it. I need to see more of that, because when we play it, as you said, Joe, with pace, we're very, very good. So just that intensity, tempo, purpose, control the game, and the Mateo Joseph goal would be lovely.
Yeah. Wouldn't say no to it. Right, we'll wrap it up on that now. Gerry, any final words before we wrap up tonight?
It's nice. I'm going to put my feet up tonight and think I could have been at Elland Road watching Stoke in the Carabao Cup, so I'm happy enough. Yeah, no, it's as Leeds fans, we're up and down, as we say. We know what happens. We know the story. We've seen the movie, but at the moment, it's positive and we're reasonably happy. Let's do the business next few days. Get a couple more in, and let's push on, and hopefully the international break will give everybody time to bed down and Ireland beat England in Lansdowne Road. Come on.
If miracles could happen, it definitely won't. Anyway, Locke, anything final to wrap up before you go?
No, mate, just hope everyone enjoys their evening, and enjoy it before Friday, because it's Leeds United and anything could happen. So, you never know.
It's going to be a mad week. Go ahead. Sorry, Locke. Sorry, my God.
I'll say we just need to take it all in. Take all the positive in now before it ends.
What goes wrong?
At least until after May, then it can end. Let's get to May with the positive vibes. Busy week, folks. There's going to be a match preview later on in the week. There's going to be a podcast, and there will be on deadline day, Friday night. Deadline's at 11 p.m. So between 10 and 11 will be a live stream on the channel as well for the final hour, joined currently by the American Leeds podcasts, Alex, and by Michael Leeds Faithful on Twitter. I keep forgetting the Twitter handle, Leeds Faithful on Twitter. The old crew getting back together for deadline day, all going well, and we have to just make sure we get some bits and pieces finalized for that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, all going well. The lads will be joining me for the final hour, and if you're interested I'm on Just Joe's show in 15 minutes if you want to go check that out, talking about what's gone on today, so you can check that out if you want to as well. And we'll catch the lads later on in the week or early next week. So have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the remainder of this week. It's going to be nuts. Let's go. See ya. Bye.
Bye.